In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to crochet the chevron stitch. Before we begin with the tutorial, I want to note that the chevron stitch has many variations. If you went to 3 different tutorials on how to do this stitch, it's likely that you would get 3 different multiples or 3 different starting chain amounts. Now, later on in this video, I'll tell you why that is, but first let's jump into how to do this stitch in the way that I find to be the easiest. The multiple for this chevron is going to be 16 plus 2. For the tutorial, I'm going to begin by chaining 32, which is a multiple of 16, and then I'm going to add 2 more, and that's going to make a total of 34. So now I've just finished my chain of 34, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 single crochet into the second stitch from the hook. Alright, and there's the second single crochet in that stitch. Now I'm going to work 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. And you can see that I'm just working into the back bump of these stitches. I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the next, 1 into the next, and then I'll do that until all 7 are done. I work into the back bump of the stitches rather than through the middle of the V because it keeps it very even. It's so that the top row and the bottom row match along the edges. Alright, so I'm just finishing up putting 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. There's my 7th one. Now I'm going to skip the next stitch. So I'm just going to go over it, not do anything there. And into the following stitch, I'm going to put 1 single crochet. I'm then going to continue putting 1 single crochet into each of the next few stitches until I've done a total of 7. So after you skip one, it's 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. In the next stitch, now I'm going to put 3 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in that stitch, the second single crochet in that stitch, and then the third single crochet in that stitch. Alright guys, I'm just going to put up the text now for the written pattern so that you can see the repeat. We've just completed it and now we're going to go through it once more until 1 stitch remains. Now you could repeat this pattern for any multiple of 16 plus 2 that you wanted. So you can make this any length you desire, baby blanket size, full size, custom size. You would just need to figure out the gauge and then how many multiples of 16 you're going to need to achieve that size. Alright, so now we're going to skip 1 stitch. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. Alright, so now we have 1 stitch remaining. Into that stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. So there's our first single crochet, and there's our second. Now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn. You can see it looks a bit of a mess in the beginning, so I wouldn't pay too much mind to that. It really starts to take shape after the first few rows. Alright, so now we're just going to chain 1 and turn. And then our row 2 repeat is going to be the repeat that we use for the rest of the pattern. So into our first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. We're then going to put 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. So very similar to the last row, there's just one minor variation with this repeat. Alright, so this is my 7th single crochet. I'm now going to skip 2 stitches, and into the next one I'm going to single crochet, and we're single crocheting in each of the next 7 stitches. It's definitely a piece of hay or something from the farm. And there's my 7th single crochet. Now into the next stitch, I'm going to put 3 single crochet. So there's my first into that stitch, my second into that stitch, and then my 3rd single crochet into that same stitch space. Now, just like last time, I'm going to put up the written pattern because now our repeat begins. So we go back to doing 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches, and we continue on with what you see here until only 1 stitch remains. Okay, I'm down to the last stitch of the 2nd row. What I'm going to do is put 2 single crochet into that same stitch space. I'm then going to chain 1 and turn, and then you just keep repeating row 2 until it's the length that you want it to be. Now that we've gone over how to do a chevron stitch, let me tell you about why you're seeing different multiples and starting chains out there. It's simply because you can change the number of stitches in between your increases and decreases, and that affects how wide the peaks and valleys are going to be. So for instance, if I began with a multiple of 18 plus 2, I would do the exact same thing, but rather than putting 7 stitches in between my increases and decreases, I would put 8. There are also variations on how to do the increases and decreases. I feel that what I've shown you here today is the most straightforward way to understand the techniques behind making chevron stitches. Definitely go and play around and see, experiment with how many stitches you're using. And if you guys are interested, please do comment below, and maybe in another video we can go over alternate techniques on increasing and decreasing for this stitch. I hope that you all have found this video helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.